Yo, yo. Okay, so I'll get that going. Bring that over here. Put that right there. And then I'll call this dude on Discord. Oh, this. Yo, yo. What's going on, man? Yeah, you're a little low, though. Hold on, let me turn my...
Me, I can't hear you.
Hello, hello, hello? Hello? Hold on, let me... Bum, 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 bum. All right, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I don't know if turn on like mic settings or.
Hello, can you hear me? Input mic, output, yeah.
I just had like a. Nah, I can't hear you. Why isn't it muted?
Share screen. Oh, it's not that. Here, let me hang up and call back. Let me see if that works. Hello? Hello, hello?
Yeah, I still can't hear you.
Hmm. That is weird.
Reset it or something. Like everything else is going through my speaker, for sure.
My bubble is turning green, so I should be good. I can still hear you though.
Yeah, like it. I see it like it lights up. Like when I guess like when you're talking, like it lights up green, but I'm not like hearing anything. It's really weird.
Input, output, voice settings. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo. Hmm. Ba-da-da-da-da. We're getting the mic settings right now. Only Noble was good. We're getting the mic settings right now. Can you hear me though on TikTok? TikTok, can y'all hear me? I feel like y'all can. Yeah. I can hear you more clearly now. But
I just swapped over settings.
hello, hello, hello.
How about now?
Yep. Hello?
There we go. Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. What's going on, man?
Sorry about that. For some
No,
reason, it
it's
was
all
like
good.
when the output on Discord is set to just like default. For some reason, it wasn't doing anything. I changed it to speakers, and that like fixed it. It's weird.
And see, that's what with Discord, I don't like. I hate changing my settings in Discord because one little thing messes everything up.
Yeah.
Like Discord is just terrible like that.
Yeah, it's wild. I haven't like done like a call on Discord in a minute. I was so weird because I just did like a Zoom yesterday, and it's like, bro, what's going on?
Yeah, like this definitely should be working.
Bro, I never even used Zoom in my life, and I had no problem.
But as soon as Discord gets involved, it's like, all right, this is it all gets messed up. I'm setting everything up now. I'm gonna hold on. Actually, let me turn this down in my ear. Turn it up. Turn it down to 50. Okay. Yeah, we should be straight. Let me go ahead and put it on. Boom. Okay, perfect. So yeah, like I said, we're just gonna talk. It's not really anything you need to know, or we're just pretty much just talk Yu-Gi-Oh, honestly.
Sweet.
But the only formal part will just be me setting it up. I'll set everything up. This is the podcast. This is the interview. Blah 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 blah. And then I'll say, "This is Mark." You'll say something, and then after that, we're just flowing at that point.
Word, sounds good.
Cool. All right. Let me do one more thing. How do I
You
do
use like
this?
OBS?
Yeah. So I'm OBS on YouTube and TikTok right now.
Nice. Yeah, I used to do like Twitch streaming. I have like an OBS set up, but like I never even use it anymore. So just like I just leave it installed away and do like I record like videos once in a while.
Right. Like I had I was using I think Streamlabs before, but now I'm just like I use regular OBS.
Yeah, I messed with Streamlabs. It, like I don't know, it's good if you're like super serious, but just it's like it feels like so much extra work.
Yeah, it's so much, and I'm glad that I was able to like sign back into it because I was super serious Yu-Gi-Oh streaming on Twitch and stuff for a while, but now once I signed back into it, all of my settings were already there. Because if I would have had to
Nice.
start over, that I probably wouldn't be doing any of this, honestly.
No, I hear
Because that it just takes so long, man. It's crazy.
I had to change like a few things around on OBS, but it wasn't like anything crazy.
Yeah.
I think I had to like remake the like the scenes, I think.
Yeah, that was. Luckily, you can copy and paste them junks.
Yeah.
Because if I couldn't copy and paste them, I'm telling you, starting completely over from scratch is a little crazy.
That shit takes so much time.
Have you been looking at Genesis format?
That's actually what I'm doing right now. I've been testing Burning Abyss,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
think bro, deck feels kind of slept on.
That was actually one of the first things I tried. Well, I I was testing Ghost Tricks, but my Ghost Trick version has Burning Abyss and PK in it. But Burning Abyss is always, it just doesn't die, so it's just always good.
Yeah. I love this deck. I've like before I like had like physical cards. This is like one of the first competitive decks one of my friends showed me online
Mm-hmm.
back when I was in like high school or something.
Yeah.
And like when I finally like had like got older and I was able to like afford the cards, one of the first things I did was buy first edition Dante's.
Dante looks very good. I'm not gonna lie. That's a
Mhm.
very beautiful card.
Facts.
Shout out to Dante. I've been testing Dragon Ruler. I've gone. I tried to test Dark World. That loses
Mhm.
to Shifter and Droll, so I was like, I can't do that. But Dragon Ruler, just going second, turbo out the big guy. That's kind of my whole game plan.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't seen like any like staple hand traps mostly.
Hmm.
Like like as I've been playing with like that in mind, where it's like if I summon Tour Guide and gets impermed, I just lose.
Yeah.
I've been testing it. I'm just like no one has like those hand traps. I'm just like, oh shit, I can just kind of play a little more aggressively than like in like the advanced format.
Right. That's kind of how I've been feeling too. Like, even with my opponents, whatever deck they're playing, they're just going off. They're not even asking
Mhm.
for responses. Like, the chances of you having a hand trap are much lower in this format
Mhm.
than regular format. So they're kind of just going
Yeah, it feels
crazy.
like just like good trap cards and like board
Hmm.
breakers are the way.
Have you been using board breakers in the BA list?
Yeah, like it's pretty much like the side deck. The main deck, I'm playing like a trap BA with a rollback. 'Cause you can roll back a Fire Lake. It's insane.
Mm. Oh, dang. I didn't
Like
even think about that.
go and roll back Fire Lake. Like I'm playing one of the Cagna to dump Fire Lake into the yard, and then just roll
Ooh.
back it. And it's like oh my god, it's so good. And
That's
then like
that's
the side
tough.
deck is just like all the board breakers, Kaiju,
Right.
Slayers,
Yeah.
Dark Rulers.
One of the things I really like about Genesis is that you can mix those older cards with the new stuff
Mhm.
and find new ways to incorporate everything together. Dumping the Fire Lake and then getting it and being able to use it, that wasn't something you could do back in the day. Now it's just so
Yeah.
easy.
Like this one play I did earlier was like it was like droplet away rollback and Fire Lake, and
Mm,
then they keep playing. It's like okay, now I'm gonna Fire Lake you too. It's just like it's like what do you do at that point?
exactly. And then I'm gaining effects off of my, like, I'm getting Dante effects, I'm getting Sir effects, I'm searching things. The thing about BA is it if it can generate advantage, it's like a snowball thing.
Facts.
Once you get to a certain point of advantage in BA, you should be winning the game.
Yeah, it's just like especially like when your removal just turns into more card advantage too. When I'm playing like
Exactly.
Wing Blast, where it's
Hmm.
like you can like pitch Rhino Warrior, dump Farfa, banish something else, and it's just like bro,
Farfa is
you're not
so
coming
good.
back from that.
I saw people playing triple torrential tribute. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
this
I'm on
is
that.
like, yeah, you're on that too. That's so busted. Like that's the
Uh,
epitome of removal becoming more advantage.
yeah, we got
DJ
those. We got
Rubes, what up?
and like with the trap tricks, these are like trap trick is insane. You're just like, 'cause I'm gonna go get my best trap now and just blow you out with it. It's just like
For free.
can do the same thing. just like yeah for free. It's like you can do the same thing with to set up like the rollback too, where it's just like you can do a trap trick to set one transaction and then
Hmm.
droplet them, and now your fire like in the yard set up. It's like oh man, you just like tutor that out.
It's so. I'm gonna start trying BA again because I didn't think about the whole dump and get the rollback thing with trap trick. That's actually kind of busted. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And then there's these fusion monsters I've seen people talking about. It's
Yeah.
like it's from Duelist Advance. They're all like bulk cards too, so they're like super cheap. There's
Yeah.
I don't know how this thing's name's pronounced. I think it's like Bio or Bio, the Dawn's Light, Mutiny in the Sky, and
It's
see,
a
I think
fusion.
the fusion. Yeah, the fusion's Loose the Dusk Dark, and
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
the fusion spell is literally just cycle your fiends back into your deck to
Hmm.
summon them. And then the best part about it is the fusion Dante is a fairy, so Mutiny in the Sky can summon the fusion Dante.
Oh, it is a fairy, isn't it?
Yeah. And then like if he goes to the yard, you can like sack a fiend from your hand or field to get the
Yeah.
fusion back, and then cycle him back into your extra deck to summon the summon loose. And it's just like, bro,
There's so much
it
advantage.
feels like that portion of the deck feels like I'm playing Thunder Dragons, where it's just like I'm just gonna cycle my deck back together, summon the big boss monster, and if
Hmm.
you out it, I'm just gonna cycle that back too.
And do it again. And the
Mhm.
ways that you can do it are so free. I forgot that the fusion Dante was a fairy because back in the day of Burning Abyss, nobody wanted to even play that card when it came out. That's another good aspect of Genesis too. A lot of the cards that really didn't get to see play back then are kind of seeing play now. I've seen so
Yeah,
many Vanquish Soul builds. That's all I've been seeing in Rated is all Vanquish Soul and stuff like that.
yeah, I haven't seen that just yet. I've seen
Mm.
like I just did like my first three matches tonight. I played against Madolche, Cyber Dragon, and like that Onomatopoeia deck.
Yeah, yep.
That deck was crazy. It set up like an insane board. But I had game one. I had Droplet for them, and I think like game two. I'm not sure what did I have for them game two. I think it was like
Droplet is so
I
good.
think I just like I'm not sure if I played through and just set up like a Zeus on it. I forget.
Zeus is good too. I was playing that in my uh, the Ghost Trick BA PK list. Like Zeus is just
Mhm.
really good.
Yeah,
DJ
every time
Rube
that's like a
said, "Call me washed, but I miss when Yu-Gi-Oh wasn't overly convoluted. Go format, or I don't want it." I mean, I guess
yo
that's fair. I guess that's fair. That's one of the reasons why I play Go format. I like the well. Okay, now we're getting into podcast things. Okay, so I'll just set it up and then we'll go from there. We'll just talk about why what we think goat format is, and then we'll talk
Mhm.
about a little bit of your goat format experience, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, perfect. Yo, oh, wait, let me hit the record button. Yo, yo, what's good? YouTube, it's your boy Token Black, aka Don Zalug. I make sure everybody eats. And this is the Different Dimension Podcast. Different Dimension Podcast, episode 2. In episode 1, we talked about Genesis format. In this one, we're going to talk about mostly GOAT format. We talked about Genesis a little bit, which I'm sure it'll segue into that. But this is less of a podcast, less of an interview. You know, we're just flowing, we're just vibing, and it's not just me. We got my friend Mark. What's going on?
Yo, what's going on?
I found Mark through the GOAT format on Facebook. And one thing that I did see, which we'll probably do a separate video on, is he made a deck based around Cannon Soldier that is one of the most innovative ways to use Cannon Soldier that I've seen in a while. Because as we know, or as you guys might know, Cannon Soldier is used in mostly OTKs, FTKs. This build that we'll talk about is more of a control thing. So keep that in mind. You'll either see another video about it or we'll talk about it closer to the end. But we were talking about Genesis and now we're segueing right into it. So we were talking about why we play GOAT format and kind of what the differences are between GOAT and other popular formats like Edison, TCG, and now even Genesis format. I really I like GOAT because I think GOAT is resource management, and I really like the concept of I've got 5 cards or 6 cards because in code format you draw like you should. I got 6 cards, you got 6 cards. Let's see who can out resource their opponent. And there's so many different ways in GOAT format. As you can see, Chaos Sorcerer gets monsters off the board. Cards like Don Zalug get cards out of the hand. And then being able to recycle Magician of Faith with your Tsukiyomi or Magician of Faith with your Graceful Charity, Pot of Greed. GOAT format is not as convoluted as all of the other formats, but it does have its specific gameplay and specific gameplay style that makes it that you have to be good. You have to be a smart player to play GOAT format. So I think it's one of the most skilled formats, but Mark, what do you think?
Yeah, I like Go format a lot. Like, I remember when I first started playing it, and I didn't understand why people like were very like passive with their back row, and I kept losing to Heavy Storm, and I wasn't realizing why I was losing until I was like, wait a minute, it's because I'm playing like way more aggressive than I should, and that was just like a small stepping stone in getting better at the format.
Yeah.
Which is like something that's like that one little detail I got like so much better because I was like reserving my resources better. I wasn't losing to the same card over and over anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's big. The resource management, and there's other like all of the other formats have a different type of management style because that's what I think Yu-Gi-Oh basically is Go format, can you manage your resources? Edison format, can you manage your board presence? You know, so it's all different types of management, but I think in GOAT format specifically, you have to worry about different things. Like you said, Heavy Storm is always a card that you have to worry about until you see it. MST, or not MST, Mirror Force, Torrential. These are all cards you have to worry about until you see them. And one thing that I did back in GOAT format that I was continuously losing to was Noblemen. I would lose every time I wanted to set. I would lose to Noblemen because I'm only setting my power cards. And I do it so much that my opponent kind of knows, okay, that's a power card. He's playing Warriors with Magician of Faith. All I've seen are Blade Knights and Don's Lugs. That's got to be something I need to get rid of. And then that's when I kind of segued into starting to play more mind games, because mind games are important in Go format too. So I like the resource management of it all. But do you play any other formats right now, or is it just Go?
Yeah, so right now I'm on Go Edison. I'm building for like a Genesis right now. We're talking about Burning Abyss and
Right.
Ghost Trickster earlier.
Yep.
And then like I used to play Advanced. I actually stopped playing Advanced like just last December because like you could only take like get so many of like, hey man, we're one ban list away from the game being fun again. We're one set away from the game being fun again. Or just like, bruh, I'm done waiting.
I definitely get you on that. What were you playing in advance?
I pretty much always played pure Kashtira. I played
Right.
like Fiendsmith Kashtira near the end.
Right.
And before that, like I played a lot of like Thunder. I played Runic variants. I played Eldritch. I played like any deck that that stood out to me was like I'd give it a shot.
Yeah.
But the last deck I ended on was Kashtira.
Yeah. I played. Well, I've been playing since the beginning. So 2005. I stopped playing this. Oh, this story. I love telling this story because this was the exact moment where I was like, you know what? I can't do this Yu-Gi-Oh stuff anymore. I was playing Metal Foe. Metal Foe. I was living in Germany at the time, so I went to an event, YCS Bochum, and I did really well with Metal Foe at the time. And then I stopped playing for a little bit, came back to the states, and just went to a locals, just to see kind of what was going on. And that was the first time I saw Masterpiece. So I did my whole Metal Foe thing. You know what I'm saying? Was it Alcahest that was the one that steals? Yeah, Alcahest, Mithrilium, set two. He did his thing, and then he summoned Masterpiece, and I read it, and that literally was the moment where I was like, you know what? I'm done. What do you mean this card is unaffected by everything, and it destroys things, and you can bring it back? That's when I was like, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah. I remember when I first read a Masterpiece, I was playing Pendulum Magician.
Hmm.
So like fortunately we had spell, trap, and monster routes to it.
Yeah.
But it was so hard because like they pop your scales, they like have like tribute the traps, pop more of your stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
bro, give me a break.
Yeah, yo, give me a break. I can't do it anymore. But I feel you on the cuz I tried to play Salamangreat when it first came out. I tried it. Gazelle was at 3, but when you hear, oh, one more format will be good, two more formats will be good, it's like we don't know when the ban list is coming out. Back in the day, it was every 6 months, so you knew exactly how long you had before the ban list would change. Now it's so random. Who actually wants to wait on it?
Yeah.
I don't I never really liked that. But now I want to ask you something cuz I've seen this on Facebook a lot about people that go from TCG, modern or anything like that and go to an Edison format, go to a GOAT format. And you've kind of been on both sides of it. What do you say to the people that say GOAT format is solved?
Bro. I built a cannon soldier control deck. The format's it's
That's enough
like
right there.
yeah, like I've been building crazy decks since I got into Go because I just like I've played Chaos Control and Chaos Turbo and like
Right.
it's fun when you're playing like the mirror match or something,
Hmm.
but when you start getting more creative with Goat and you start doing these interactions where people don't like they don't know them, they haven't seen them before, and you kind of like catch people off guard, like it's like a whole different world. Like, I've built like a Don Saluk deck where it's like I'm like creature swapping people, crashing tomatoes, swinging it with Don Saluk.
Yeah.
I built like a dark toolbox deck.
Hmm.
What else was there? There was um, the trying to think what the those union fusions are. The XYZ. I built a deck with that. Like I
Oh
built
yeah,
so
yeah,
many decks. They performed well too.
yeah.
It's not
Hmm.
like I'm just like building some jank again like dumpstered on. It's just like
Right.
it takes like a good deck builder to make those type of decks work and understanding how the format goes. Like if you don't understand the format and you just want to play like your homebrew, like yeah, you're gonna get like your shit pushed in. Like that's
Right.
on you. But if like
Yeah.
you understand the format, you have a good side deck, a good toolbox. It's like you can build these type of decks and still do well.
And your deck choice, like being able to make something with Cannon Soldier that's not just straight up FTK. that was kind of the way I looked at the format as well when I was playing consistently. I was not necessarily building the top tier deck. I was building what I wanted to build, but I understood each format. And then my goal was to how can I make what I want to play beat the top tier decks? So I think that, like you said, like you gotta understand. The main thing is understanding the format. If you don't understand the format, you're gonna lose regardless. But
Yeah.
like, when you're building these creative decks like the Cannon Soldier, the Donzaloo decks, when you're building them, are you building them with beating the meta in mind, or are they kind of just a fun thing and then you go back to playing meta? Like how does your deck choice work?
No, so it's always about like trying to figure like a good balance out between like doing the fun thing but also being prepared to play into the meta. Like
Right.
my locals, they run a monthly goat tournament, and I can go there and play against like three Chaos Turbo players, four Chaos Turbo players in a row. So it's like I can either go there and play a fun deck and lose and have a bad time, or I can go there, play a fun deck and have like a really good time.
Yeah.
And it's really just up to like how I want to build the deck. Like specifically with the Cannon Soldier deck, the whole side deck was built around that, where it's just like main decking, or not main decking, side decking actually the dust shoots, side decking soul releases.
Right.
I have like Mystic Walks for like any kind of burn deck. And like the main deck's all just like I'm gonna take your monsters and I'm gonna tribute them, and I don't think people are prepared for that. So I think like game ones are very easy, and then
Yeah.
when people try to like figure it out how to side against it, that's where it gets a little trickier. Whereas my side deck's already gonna be prepared for like whatever I'm gonna be up against.
Mm. Okay, so you already kind of know. You know what your opponent's going to be thinking game 2 and 3, so you kind of side with that in mind.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I always built, like I said, I played Ghost Tricks for a really long time, and I played Ghost Tricks during Burning Abyss format, so not not everybody is ready to summon a Dante to get it floodgate trapped hold, and now you
Mm-hmm.
can't do your Burning Abyss plays. So I became known as kind of the ghost trick guy where nobody really wanted to play me because I'm, I'm putting your monsters face down, not letting you flip them, and then a lot of my games went into time too. So like, but I was having fun. That was the main
Yeah.
thing was like I'm having fun with this, and there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
players that really I don't know if they really even enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh. It's more of like a solely competitive thing. And players that want to have fun, they don't necessarily lose the competitive aspect of wanting to be good at the game. But there comes a certain point where having fun becomes more important than being the most super competitive. And that point came for me just I guess really early in the game, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think there's like a kind of like you have to like find a blend there. Like there's either like you're playing like a competitive deck and you're just playing to win all the time,
yeah,
or it's just like you're playing for fun and it's just like going to have a good time. Like there's people that go to locals and there's like I just want to have a good time. I don't really care how it goes. And
yeah,
then you get like tournament grinders where they're trying to like min max everything, and if they don't see themselves doing well, then they're not having fun.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
like it's really just like a psychological thing, honestly, between like the type of like person and player you are, right?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with
Sorry.
you. Do you so how long have you been playing Go format?
So I've been playing Goat like when I was playing like 2012,
Mm,
whatever that current format was. I was
yeah,
playing that online with some friends, and we were like, let's see what this Goat format's all about. So we played that online, and then I hadn't played that for a while until I want to say 2 years ago. I was at a YCS,
Yeah.
and what actually got me back into Goat is I bought one of those gem deck boxes with like the pink Goat scapegoat on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I haven't played Goat in a while. So I started building it. I started like going to local tournaments and like in between rounds, seeing who had like Goat decks on them. And then more of us started playing Goat, and then our locals like, hey, well, let's get like a Goat tournament going. And
Oh, that's
then
so
one Goat
awesome.
tournament turned into like Goat and Edison. We tried Goat Edison Hat, and now we're doing Goat Edison, and we're gonna try Genesis.
Yeah.
So it's like just like that little interest built into like a larger community, which is really cool.
That's so cool. And it's cool to have a couple friends too that are also playing Go format. So shout out to the people in the Go format community that are just around and want to be playing Go format that, you know, don't have friends. Definitely go to your locals. There's probably somebody that either has a goat deck, or you could, at this point you could just build a goat deck just straight up with commons and stuff like that. Mostly everything that you need is common, except for Delinquent Duo. Is that a common, or am I tripping?
Yeah. I'm not sure if the Rarity Collection 4 reprinted it as like a super maybe.
Yeah, I haven't been able to. The last time because the goat deck that I have now is just like I went to locals, and one of my homies from way back in the day, like 2010, shout out Jorge, he gave me a goat deck of just cards that he had. So like there's a cyber jar in there. There's a graceful pot. He didn't have delinquent duo. There's only two great gravekeeper spies. So I just started building stuff. Um, but it was cool that there were a couple players there, and even having a deck that wasn't completely built, I still had fun just being around people that liked to play goat format. So now
Mhm.
it's like now there's goat has popped off. I was around when goat popped off. I wouldn't say the first time, but the first time a retro format popped off, it was goat. Edison kind of came over and just kind of like
Yeah, Edison's been crazy. Like I got into go back into Go, and
yeah.
I was like, yeah, Go's always been like the big retro format, and then I get people like talking about Edison. I'm like, bro, no, no, it's called Goat
No,
format.
no,
And
no.
they're
No, that's
calling
the
me
wrong one.
Edison. It's like,
Trying to stop the wave from happening. Like, no, no, please, only go format. It felt like Edison took over Ghost so quickly. So I'm
Mhm.
that's why I'm so glad that there's still a GOAT community, because a lot of the people that I hosted a tournament in 23, I believe. A lot of those players don't even play GOAT. They just quickly went over to Edison. They'll play GOAT, if people have it, but that's not their main thing. You know what I mean? I think my main thing
Yeah.
is still I would say my main thing is still GOAT. I like Edison, but I think I like just the resource management of GOAT a little more.
Yeah, definitely between the two prefer Goat. I feel like Goat lets you deck build more creatively. Like
Mm,
Edison has a lot of deck options,
yeah,
but I feel like it was so quickly like latched onto. It feels very like you're asking about like if I felt like Goat feels solved, I don't. But
yeah.
I feel like Edison feels very solved. Like there's
Okay.
like little like deck choices and changes you can make, and once in a while I think like a frog combo deck popped up a few months ago.
The
So like
hero
there's still
frog
things like
list.
yeah, where it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
I know what you're
format
talking about.
can grow. It just feels like very solid. Like there's so many decks that you can play. And it's just like people win in every direction with that format to figure it out. So like
Yeah.
I'm sure like there's still something that can pop up here and there, but it's like it's not nearly as like open ended as I feel like Goat is.
I agree with you. I think goat people like to say goat is solved because they're not, it's more of an outside looking in. Edison players look at goat, they see chaos turbo. They just feel like chaos is the only build to play. And it is a good build. It's one of the best builds, but it's not the only build that you can play. So
Yeah.
when people say that GOAT is solved, I'm like, how much GOAT have you played? Are you really into GOAT to even be able to say that? I don't know. I don't know. I think more like you said, more Edison. Edison is what is it? Vayu, Black Wings, and some version of Frogs.
Yeah.
If you're not
Like
playing one of those
gladiator, he's
three,
fire, he's ignorant.
mm-hmm. And there's a couple things that'll pop up, but as far as well, I don't like to say any format is solved completely, but if you want to go to what is more solved as far as the deck building and the top decks, it's got to be more Edison. But you said something interesting. You said that chaos or not chaos that goat makes you deck or lets you deck build more freely. What do you mean by that?
So I feel like you can kind of like take an idea or
Uh-huh.
like if you find like a certain like mechanic that's interesting and you can build out a deck from there. Like
Mm.
original story behind like the whole cannon soldier deck was I was trying to find like I wanted to build like a last will toolbox deck and so like the final product had no last wills in it funny enough but the original idea was like, oh, I can play Cannon Soldier because I can tribute it to itself to enable the last will. And then I was playing like
Uh-huh.
I was like, wait, I can just play like Toon Cannon and search it off of Toon Table. And then I was trying to figure things out with that, where it's like, oh, can I get like brain control? Is there something here?
Yeah.
And ultimately, I was trying to find the last piece for this deck, and I started like looking it up, see if anyone else had tried something similar
Right.
and I'd seen something on YouTube. I think the channel was like Retro Expert, I think it's called,
Yeah.
and they were explaining that Soul Exchange doesn't have to be for a tribute summon. It just is next time that you would tribute, and that's when like I felt like everything just clicked into place. Like, oh, I can
Yeah.
use Soul Exchange Metamorphosis, I can use it with Mystic Walk, I can use it with Enemy Controller. Like everything just turned
Oh, you
on all at the same
can use it
time.
with metamorphosis.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
And it's
busted.
like as soon as like I heard that explanation, like I watched like the rest of it, and I feel like the version that I ended up with feels like a more like like proficient version of that deck idea.
Right.
But that like that little bit of like you can use Soul Exchange for this is like everything just clicked into place right then and there.
Yeah. That's always a
It's
good
just like you
feeling.
can yeah, it's just like you can do that with like anything in this format. If you see like a monster where it's like this card design is interesting to me, you can just kind of like try to like see where's this branch off. Like I think the next thing I really want to try is like a Tsukiyomi like aggro control deck. See like where what can I like like flip up and down,
Yeah.
like going into like that like Tsukiyomi Thousand Eye like try to like turbo that out. That could be an idea. And there's so many little like bits and pieces that you can try to
Yeah.
build your whole deck around versus like I think the main trade-off is because Edison has so many archetypes. Archetypes are like they come like solved for you almost.
Yeah.
Whereas like Goat doesn't have archetypes. You kind of have to like figure it out yourself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that the way that you explain the cannon soldier thing, the first thing that popped into my head is debris dragon, and debris dragon is going to get one thing. It's going to get your dandy so you can do other things, or your lone fire is going to get your dandy or a gigaplant or a titanial. So the the innovation is kind of it comes innovated for you. When you see this card, you do this. When you see this
Yeah.
card, you do this. So I always like innovative deck builds, and back in the day, I was always I always played, well, not always. My first competitive deck was windups. But until then, I was playing rogue, whatever the rogue build was. I was playing
Hmm.
that with wanting to beat the meta in mind. So going on YouTube back then, there wasn't really many options as far as people that were deck building. Like the YouTube or YugiTube scene was different, where it was more just this is the deck list that topped this event, and this is the guy doing a deck profile. There wasn't really any people going too far off on creative limbs. So I'm glad that people are doing that now, because you took one idea from the Cannon Soldier thing to YouTube, found one guy that explained one thing, which made everything click. So it's like that's dope that you can do that in GOAT format. I feel like Edison maybe does have some sprinkles of that, but in most
Yeah.
cases, your lone fire gets this. Your dandy is for this. You have Caius. Why would you play anything else? Kind of thing. So that's
Yeah,
dope.
like every time that like I've wanted to build something in Edison,
Mm.
it's like you can look up a list really easy. Like you don't have to like dig through YouTube. You just like I was trying to find like a plant deck. I'm sure if you would like search any kind of plant deck on YouTube for Edison, you just get like a million videos. There's like three different Edison dedicated sites that have it. And it's just like,
Yeah.
well, I don't mean to talk bad about their format because I know a lot of people complain about Edison players like kind of like shit talking about their formats.
Yeah, Go and Tango and Hat and all that too. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, it just like, but just feels like it just feels very hard to like break into the format with something new.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time that like I can probably like try this, it's like this has actually already been done before a couple of times. Actually, it's like oh okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, all right then. Never mind.
yeah,
No, I like innovative deck building. Now for Edison, well, let's talk about Go, because I talked about resource management earlier. I think Edison is more board presence. Are there any other formats that you're playing outside of Go and Edison, or is it just those two? And Genesis, of course. We'll talk about that in a second, actually.
yeah. I played a little bit of Hat. We did like a couple Hat monthlies at my
Yeah,
locals,
yeah.
and then the scene kind of died off. I think like people were kind of trying to push it to sell like their Max C's and stuff, honestly.
Fair.
And then once everyone moved to Max C's and like Max C got reprinted, suddenly
Yeah.
people stopped showing up. People stopped talking about Hat, and it's just like, all right, like it was a little fun. Like I played a version of Hat where instead of playing the hands, you're
Yeah.
playing card cards,
Yeah,
and then
Call
I
Card
turned
D. Yeah.
and then I went from the card cards to playing emergency teleports. That way, I
Yeah.
give like the deck like more of like a push to it, so I can like
Mm.
summon out tuners, make like big synchros, and it still felt like that control deck that Hat is. It just has like a more aggressive like play line to it at the same time.
Yeah, that's kind of how our hat scene is. Our hat scene is the lowest of the three, Golden Edison, but people still enjoy it. You know, one of my homies brought a hat deck. We played Sylvans versus, oh man, what is the artifacts? The
Yeah.
hat, the hand artifact trap. I was playing that build, and my friend was playing Silvers, and he just shit on me. I couldn't get anything going. I had all my I set everything, but I had the sanctum, but I didn't actually know what to do with it because I was playing all Go formats. So I'm like, okay, I set 5. Now do I just lose? Like, what do I actually do from here? But I'm
Yeah.
gonna try to start getting in a hat. What's really interesting right now is Genesis format. I've done the most deck building I've done in a week than I've done in the past like 5, 6, 7 years. So Genesis format for me is something new, something fresh that actually feels like it's going to be around for a long time. What I have seen though is people comparing it to older formats. So people are comparing Genesis to Go in
Mm.
the deck building sense, uh, where you have to really manage the resources because now the point system becomes the resource for deck building and becomes one of, well, the biggest, I would say, the biggest factor in your deck building. But what do you think about Genesis as a whole, and do you think that it compares to older formats at all?
Yeah, so Genesis, we've been like my test group has been talking about Genesis a lot. Like initially, like my first reaction was this is a really cool idea. It's really like a deck builder's format,
Yeah.
honestly.
Hmm.
And then like the more like it evolved, the more I realized it's really the decks that aren't affected by the point system. Like you see like Punk, Vanquish Souls.
Yeah.
I've seen like Modolce pop off, and it was just like, wait a minute, it's just these decks aren't affected by the point system, whereas all the other decks that have like points all over their cards is like so much worse.
Yeah.
So it just feels like the more I thought about it, the more it feels like the format is kind of dictated by who has the least amount of points on their engine, so that way they can play like the best non-engine cards.
Mm.
And I was told like one of my friends told me it's like, well, the decks that have less points are going to be like lower power decks, so they get to play the higher quality cards. Was like, but not really, right? Because you can play these types of decks still. You have
Mm.
better card quality. You have your entire engine at accessible, so it doesn't matter. Like if you bring like, let's say like I like Kashtira, it's like you have 30 on Fenrir, 30 Unicorn, 30 on the field spell.
Yeah.
It's like if you try to put that deck together, no matter what you play against, you're getting your shit pushed in. If like the other deck has like if you play against like Punk, like it's over.
Yeah, and they have their
They
whole
got full death
engine.
hand trap,
You got a
mhm,
neutered
full
engine.
engine. Hmm. Meanwhile, it's like, man, I hope I get to see my one Fenrir this game.
Yeah, I hope I draw into it or something. That's
Yeah.
a I like that concept. I like it is a deck builders format. There's not really anything that, and I said this before last week. It's like it can't be compared really, other than like you might see some old cards or the factor of resource management, because the the how did I say this? The resources that you have available to you are based on the point system, but there's not anything that I can't just copy a list and start playing it
Hmm.
and just go from there. I can't net deck a list and start playing it and truly understand what the deck is supposed to do. Because even if I have all of one engine, the cards that one person is going to want to play as their non-engine cards are going to be different than that of another person. So if I have 60 extra points, do I want to play just two pot of greed? Do I want to spread those out with hand traps, things like that? So I agree with you in the fact that it is a deck builder's format. You really have to think about what you want to do with those extra points if you have them. And not only that, there's going to be a meta. I don't I want when I talk about Genesis, I want people to understand that you can't just go in here and just you can play your favorite deck. There's nothing stopping you from playing your favorite deck. But Punk exists at pretty much full power. Dragon Rulers, not necessarily full power. Vanquish Soul, and like you said, Medolce, Burning Abyss. Like you can play your favorite deck, but there will be a meta, and you have to be prepared for it.
For sure. It just feels like the format's meta is dictated by that like point system,
Yeah,
which like it's kind of frustrating. Like I said, like Cash Tier, where it's like I can't play my favorite decks. If I do, it's just gonna get stomped.
right.
And then there's decks out there where it's like they just have like no restraints on them. So it's just like I wonder how like that plays into the meta. Whereas like sure like the best decks of like all time tier elements where it's like 50 points on every card. Like
Right.
that's understandable.
Right. Yeah.
But maybe something like even Eldritch, where it's like that deck hasn't been playable in a long time. It's one of the best decks in the format by like virtue of there's not a whole lot of points on it.
Right. So you have a lot of extra space to do. You can play board breakers, hand traps, better
Mm.
non-engine
It's
cards.
like I don't think that like that these decks that are good. I'm not saying like they should be unplayable, but I think like there should be restrictions that force the person that's making the deck to have to like like think a little bit more about what they're gonna play
Right.
versus like, oh, I just play my engine as I would in like a competitive like regular advanced format, and then I gotta think a little bit on my like non-engine.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Now, what do you think? What do you think they're gonna do with the point system? Because I was talking with one of my homies last week, and he was saying because they had already updated the point system after 3 days. So this point system updating thing could essentially be equivalent to a ban list because either one of two things is going to happen. They're going to let the point system be the point system and not change it, or the players, because I think they said they're going to start doing events, which would make sense, if they start doing YCS level events, get people really back into the game, but that's a different topic. The players will exploit these engines and exploit these cards, and then Konami will come in and change the point system accordingly. So I don't know which one is gonna happen. I'm kind of just getting opinions because I personally think they should just make it one time and let it be what it is. But that's also coming from a player that's been in the game since 2005. So I've seen them try to do this whole ban list, change it up every 6 months, and then it comes every 3 months, and then so my bias is just please don't mess with this because you're just gonna make players. You're just giving players a reason to be upset if you keep changing it. So what do you think they're gonna do with it? Is it gonna become like a ban list kind of thing where they do it every couple months or what?
Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of room for improvement. I
Yeah.
think like for the most part it's a cool and interesting start. Like I've been building Burning Abyss and it's like I put 40 points into playing Graceful Charity. It's like that's so cool.
Right.
Like
Yeah, that you can do that. Right.
and then but I think like there's definitely room for improvement on it where it's like they can see what's doing well and tinker around the points. And I think like as long as like they're just like with a regular ban list where it's like here's the new things that got moved around. That
Right.
way every time like the point system comes out, you can just see like, okay, these are the cards that were changed. I don't have to like look through the whole list and figure
Right.
it out myself.
Yeah.
Um, and then the only thing is like when a new set comes out, I think like if the point system's universal, I don't know if it's universal like OCG and TCG or if it's
Mm-hmm.
this just like a TCG thing.
Yeah.
But when a new set comes out, they gotta like have those point systems ready for the new cards. Otherwise, it's just gonna like push product for like whatever the newest set is, and that would kind of suck, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and again, me being someone that's been playing since 2005, I keep saying since 2005. I can just say 20 years. So for 20 years, I've seen what they've done with ban lists, and they've been doing that what you just said, where they just make the ban list push the new set. They've been doing that forever. So
Mm.
people think that it's a new concept, and they're blown away when they see ban lists, and they're like, well, why didn't they hit this card? Because well, it's most likely because there's a set coming out or that just came out that this card needs to be in there for. So I hope that it
Right.
doesn't become that. I want it. I I don't know. Do you think that, like, let's say Vanquish Soul, Punk, for example, should they, if those decks start to top events, should they start messing with the point system with the engine themselves, or should they just keep it to non-engine hand traps and things like that?
No, I definitely think it should be putting more points on the engine. Like
Mm,
initially I was thinking as like you should have like expensive points on the non-engine. That way you're forced to like let's say you want to play Ash Blossoms, like you can't play Ash Blossom in the imperm if the points are like a little bit higher. Like right now I think it's like 15 on Ash and
yeah,
10 or 15 on imperm, so you can like theoretically play all of them.
right.
But if the points are a little higher, it's like then you have to start thinking it's like, oh man, I can only play like these three Ash, but now if I play these three Ash, I can't play like say this extra deck monster I want to play.
Right.
It makes it, like a little more awkward. But I definitely think if like an engine's overperforming, then like yeah, definitely like do something about its point value where it's just like so that way it's just not like just stagnating the format. It's like every single like event, like oh here's Vanquish Souls, and it's just like oh I've seen this before.
Yeah, I've seen this before, and I think that I agree with you on that. I think as far as the point system goes, they got to once it gets to a point of you really because right now they're people have their engines. I'm watching somebody play Heroes right now against, let's see what this is. Oh, Draco Tail. So full power Draco Tail. But once it gets to the point where that tipping point where it's like I could play 3 Ash or I could play the Imperm, but what is the meta thing? I could play Graceful, but I also could play Pot, but what's better for the meta? Like there is a point where they could theoretically just stop updating it. Obviously, this is all new, so we're nowhere near that point yet, but I think once it gets to that point and players really have to put some thought into what they're using for their non-engine, what hand traps they're playing, it becomes less about the engine and more about non-engine and hand traps. There's a there's a point where those things can equalize, but they'll have to mess with the point system in certain engines. And now that I'm saying it out loud, if Punk and Vanquish Soul become the engine or the meta and they start messing with the point system of those engines, players will just go find whichever one has the least amount of points and just use that, and then that becomes the meta. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't
like
think about that until I just said it out loud.
I think it should be like the point system should be arranged in such a way where it's like if you want to go full engine, you have to go
Mm-hmm.
lower quality and like non-engine, and then like vice versa. It's like if I want to play all the Ash, Imperms, Drools, all that, now I kind of have to like pick and choose my engine, and then you start have to like looking into like the bulk, let's say like take the Burning Abyss example again. Like say if there's points on like the Burning Abyss cards, now we got to start looking into like what's like a bulk Burning Abyss card like it's the one that puts something on top of your deck. Um,
Oh,
the
no, not
yeah,
Calicav, is it?
Dragig.
Yeah,
Like they like graphs for like 10 points each. It's like, but I want to play good non-engine, so it's like I'll play two graph and I'll play like, this one Dragig just so I'm playing like a good count on my names.
yeah,
Or I can just go all engine and just play lower quality non-engine. I think something like that would be like the best way to for the format to move forward.
yeah. And I think they can do it. I really like the concept of this. Like I said, I've been playing the game so long, and then I quit. I've been around, but I quit with the whole masterpiece thing. This has brought some of my homies that haven't played in legit 10, 15 years are back doing deck building for this format. I'm on Dueling Book. I was sick when the Genesis got announced, and then the day that it was on Dueling Book, I was sick, so I was at home, and I was deck building literally that whole day. And at the end of the day, I was like, did I just sit on Dueling Book for 12 hours? I haven't done that in so long. So I think that's a fresh, a fresh set of eyes, a fresh perspective on the tournament or on the format and where it's at right now. I really like it.
Yeah, definitely. Like it took me a long time to find a deck I wanted to play because like my initial reaction is like, okay, cool, I'll go back to cash tier, and it's like I mentioned, like 30, 30, 30. So I'm like, okay, let me try something that I haven't played in a while. I'll try
Right.
Rescue Ace, and like the quick play spell, like the best one I think is like an emergency teleport effectively. There's
Yeah.
30s on that, and then like some of the monsters are like a couple points each, so it kind of like makes it awkward. And I was like, okay, we'll go back to one of my classics, Thunder Dragon. So it's like Colossus is 67 points, so it's just like
Damn.
I don't know about that one. It's just like the more I'm thinking, I'm just like, what about like I was looking at Phantom Knights for a long minute. I'm just
Yeah.
like Cherubini, no Rusty. It's like I could try the adventure package, but it's like it's a little like clunky. And it's just like, and then that's why I started looking more into Burning Abyss and Fire Lakes and transaction rollbacks and like this like the new fusion package from Dual Savant. So it's like
Yeah.
just need all these little things, and it's just like I think this is what's like gonna work for me.
Yeah.
But like it took a long time of like looking back and forth at the point list, looking at like staple cards, like the cards I want to play. Like I definitely gave those other decks a shot where I did like some test hands. I was like, this just isn't working.
Yeah.
I was getting like really frustrated. But after a couple days of just going through a couple decks, that's when it's just like I landed on Burning Abyss. I'm like, I think I finally found something that's gonna work for me, and kind of like built it out from there.
That goes right into what you said. It's a deck builder's format. Cause I did, and shout out to the people. Shout out to the people who played something back in the day that was super rogue, and they were able to play their whole engine full power with no restrictions. Because a lot of people that played those road decks, they never got that chance. They never got that chance to play their deck in full power. I looked at injectors for a little bit. Full power injectors. It's been a minute. Wind ups. You can't do wind ups because the carrier is like 50 points or something like that. So
Oh, jeez.
I tried that. You can't do it. But shout out to the people that played those decks and didn't have to go through a whole bunch of different things. Me, the first card I put was Ghost Trick Doll, and I wanted it. Like I said, I tested for 12 hours. So within the first like 30, 45 minutes, I was like, yeah, this is it doesn't matter what I add to this deck. It's just not going to work, especially without like Ghost Tricks have a link monster now, but it was the Ghost Tricks were using the Cherubini to go into summon a
Uh,
3, and then I would summon a 3, get the Alucard, go into Angel, dump something. Like it was just level 3 spam. But without Cherubini, it turns into a slower Ghost Trick Scare, flip up and down. And these decks, even in this format, are just too fast. So I went from that, I went to Dark World, got hit with Droll, and I was like, yep, not doing that no more. I've seen a couple people playing what's the bird deck that no
oh,
one
the
likes?
MST deck.
No, not that one. The normal summon deck that everyone hates.
Oh, flu.
Flu, yes. I've seen a couple people playing that. And I was like, I could do that, but I don't want to be that guy ever. So I
Better than
scrapped
that.
that. Scrapped that idea pretty quickly. So, and then I just made it to, I don't know how I tried to play Dragon Turbo with like blue eyes and all that, and then that turned into Dragon Ruler. So it's taken a toll, but I like Dragon Ruler. I am very interested in this Burning Abyss list. So, but I like Dragon Ruler right now just because I don't have to. I don't. I wouldn't say I don't have to think too much, but I know what my play is. I know where
You're
I'm trying to
familiar.
get to. Exactly. Exactly. I know where I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to summon this dude, and if you get around this dude, all right, well, you got it. That's kind of
Yeah.
where I'm at.
Yeah, that's honestly like I miss that era of Yu-Gi-Oh where it's like the player that like is playing like some kind of like combo deck or something that has like a very like long turn.
Right.
If you out that thing that they did, you win the game. And it's like I miss that with Yu-Gi-Oh where it's like modern combo decks are like if you out my board, I'm going to have a bunch of effects in my grave that assemble a second board. And it's just like bro, why? I outed your board. Like it's like my combo deck segues into a control deck. It's like, bro, like
Wait. How do you have another board? This is wait. I just outed it. Or you Nibiru them and they just play through it and make a second board. Like, whoa, you shouldn't be able to do that.
it's absolutely crazy. And it's just like we are
That's
talking
funny.
earlier before we started, where it's like I was telling you about the onomatopoeia deck, where it's like here's
Yeah,
5 guys. There's like one was negate. It was like I forget the number. It's like number 20, I think. It's like a mandatory detached negate.
yeah,
Draco Future, and then like some other like new number 39 looking guy where he's like reduce your opponent's monster's attack by 0 phase attack. So it's just like all these guys, and it's just like I opened a droplet and a few things that were good to discard, so I just like push through the board, and then
right,
after that, it's like they're not recovering. It's like that's honestly what I miss about like combo decks. Like I'm not a fan of combo decks,
right.
but I miss that like if I can push through their board, I can win the game. Not just like I have to push through their board, and I have to push through their board, and then I have to push through their board. Like, bro,
You have to be able to do all of that in one turn. Because if I get another
it's six
turn, I'm
cards.
just gonna make a better board.
Like they went +8, and now you need to use your 6 cards to push through their board 3, 4 times. And it's like,
Oh
why?
man, I have to go
Why am I
plus
doing this to myself?
24 off my 6 cards. What the fuck? That is a good point, man. I've never thought about that concept of okay, here's combo deck. I have an Omni Negate, and 2 back row. If you out this, cause back in the day, you could out it, and then maybe put your own Omni Negate up, and that was enough because they used enough of their resources to make that board. So I never really thought about that. That was kind of my when I was making a rogue deck, I would look at the meta and say, okay, this is the board they're going to try to make. I need to try to out this. Whether I'm playing Ojamas, Crystal Beasts, Ghost Tricks, what else did I play that was super rogue? Watts. I played Watts. It's like, okay, this is the board. I only need to out this board once, maybe twice. This is like Geargia back in the day. That was the epitome of okay, you destroy my board, I'm gonna end with a face down monster. That's it. That was the most devastating thing you could see. Now it's like I really have to go plus 25 off 6 cards through your 2 hand traps because you just did all of this with 1 card.
Yeah,
You have 4 hand traps still.
I feel like Quasar Turbo was like the best example where it's like I put up 2 just like big, maybe 3 like big just generic negates.
Mm-hmm.
But if you remove these, the game is over.
Yeah.
You've won. You solved the puzzle.
Yeah, exactly. Solve the puzzle. You got it, man. I will extend my hand every time. That's why there's a couple times that I played Genesis and I've gotten the big Dragon Ruler guy out and they'll out it and I'll just quit. And they're like, "Hey, like you can still play." And I'm like, "I mean, I could, but you've solved the puzzle.
Yeah,
You've outed my whole board. My whole
like
thing was to remove all your stuff so you wouldn't be able to play the game. Obviously,
like a
you can
lot.
still play the game."
Yeah, like a lot of people that like have gone into the game where it's like, when I was teaching them, or a lot of people that are like in my like test group or
Mm-hmm.
like fairly newer to the game, I've always told people Yu-Gi-Oh is a lot like a puzzle, but in the like you can solve it, but sometimes like you get solved, and it's just like
Yeah.
that's how the game goes.
Yeah. That's just what it is. I always tell people, because this is kind of how I grew up, where I was losing to the same card or playing into the same scenario every time. Where I would tell people is you have to be able to break break this board and still have enough resources to build one. Because you can break the board, but if you don't have the resources necessary to either build a board after you break it or be able to stop them from making another one, that's where it becomes tough. So even in any deck, you should be able to look at your 5 cards, look at either whether you're going first or second, look at your 5 cards and have some sort of game plan. I know where I'm trying to get to. If I can get there, cool. If they stop it here, I can try to get there a roundabout way. But it's all about resource management, and I learned a lot of that just playing Goat so much. Every format has its version of resource management, whether it be on the board when you're getting your big synchros out in Edison format, or it's in the graveyard when you're playing something like Burning Abyss, or it's from the banished zone if you're playing something like Ritual Beast. The resources are always going to be somewhere. You just have to know where they are.
Yeah,
That's big. It's big.
yeah, I think that's like all of Yu-Gi-Oh. Like a lot of modern resources now, I feel like are resolving as you're resolving like your chain link or something.
Mm-hmm.
And like knowing where your opponent's choke points are. I feel like a lot of modern Yu-Gi-Oh is like learning every deck, learning all the choke points to all those decks, and that's where the resource management of modern Yu-Gi-Oh comes in.
Yeah.
Whereas like the further you go back, the more it's just like cards in hand, knowing like that's the best like one of the best parts about Goat is knowing the ban list is actively a very strong advantage. Where
Right.
it's like I've seen you could use your Mirror Force, I can play a little more aggressive. You've used your Heavy Storm, I can set more aggressively. Things like that.
Those are
Um,
really important as far as
mhm.
resources. Like, okay, heavy storm's gone. I can set these. They could be bluffs. Maybe they're not. Who knows? But I
Yeah,
can freely set them now and play some sort of mind games um, with my opponent. Because cards in hand, people don't understand how important it is to understand or to know how many cards your opponent has in their hand.
mhm.
It's we me and my homies that been playing for a while, we went and played Lorcana for a couple months, and we set our deck sideways and we draw a certain way. I still, even playing Lorcana, I was like, effect, okay, target this. But I asked my opponent cards in hand, and I remember she was like, "You're a Yu-Gi-Oh player, aren't you?" I was like, "How could you tell?" It's like you asked me
Yeah,
how many cards I had in my hand like 5 times.
that's come up with playing a lot of like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh is
Hmm.
I'll mix up the phrasing a lot. Like I've been at regionals where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go to combat or I'm gonna go to like upkeep and like what? You're gonna what?
You're gonna do what? What card is that?
Or like winning the die roll, there's afraid people in Magic will say I'll be on the play, and then when I say that in Yu-Gi-Oh, they're like, what's that mean?
I don't get it. Are you going first?
Mhm.
Are you? I don't know. That's
Yeah.
funny that Yu-Gi-Oh, like Yu-Gi-Oh players, other card games can tell when you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player just right off the like. Yu-Gi-Oh players have their own mannerisms, their own things that they say. Even in Lorcana, there's a couple things that they've said where I'm like, I don't know what that means. You have to explain that because they don't say like if an effect gets something out the graveyard, they don't say activate effect, target this. And what I realize is they don't have to because the interactions you can't interact with me on my turn. So like that's why I liked Lorcana so much, and I think it's pretty similar to Magic, where it's like they don't have to say affect target because there's nothing, there's not a hand trap, there's not a Veiler or like a Crow or
Yeah.
something like that. So, you know,
Yeah, more often than not in Magic, it's like before the card even like resolves, that's where it's like getting responded to. Where it's
mm-hmm.
like you're getting like your spells countered, more often. There are spell like abilities that like negate like activated effects, things like that.
Yeah,
There's things that like destroy cards off the field on like your opponent's turn. But more often than not, most of the interaction comes from like how like Solemn Judgment like negates the card's activation, like that kind of timing window
yeah,
in Magic.
exactly. It doesn't even, you don't even get to activate it. I tried to
Mm,
activate it, it didn't activate. Okay, moving on.
yeah, moving
Yeah,
on.
moving on. Next thing, Yu-Gi-Oh! One of the things about Lorcana that really drew me in was like, oh, when I played my first game and my opponent set a, well, she was doing she set one lore, but to me as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, that looks like a back row. So I'm like, okay, can you activate that on my turn? And she's like, well, what are you talking about? And I'm like, okay, that's a trap card. Are you gonna activate it? And she's like, no, no, no. I'm just setting one lure. I can't interact with you on your turn. And I was like, oh, this game is so easy.
It's like it's a really like dark analogy, but it's like coming out of like an abusive relationship, where it's like you can't interact with me. I'm allowed to play
At
my
all.
deck on my turn.
I can
What?
I can do things all by myself. Oh, wait a
I'm
minute.
allowed to play
I
the game.
love this. I love this game so much. I'll never go back to Yu-Gi-Oh ever again.
That was a lie.
I know, right, dude? I was only over there for 3 months, and then that's when Edison started popping. I was like, all right, I gotta go back. Lorcana, it was fun, and Lorcana's prize support, like they're giving out straight cash. But I
No.
told my homie like he stayed over there. He's not coming back to Yu-Gi-Oh. He was like, if I can become good at this game, I can fund my entire life. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense, but like the time it takes to be good at Lorcana, I just didn't have the time to put in.
Yeah. Like I did that in 2023. I grinded so much Yu-Gi-Oh
Mm-hmm.
because I went to nationals that year. I was on a sponsored team. I had
Oh,
like labbed out like my deck for like months. And it's just like when the next season came up, I'm just like, bro, I'm not doing that again. That was
yeah,
so exhausting. Like I day two nationals, I can say that. It's just like that's a reward in itself, honestly.
right.
But it's just like it was so much effort. It's just like I don't think I like if I ever wanted to like top a nationals, maybe I would go back to like putting in all that. But it
Mm-hmm.
was a lot of effort just like for that 1 year. It's like I don't know if I'm not gonna do that back to back to back. That's exhausting.
Yeah, and that's when a lot of people get hit with burnout. Burnout in
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh is definitely real, for sure.
Hmm.
Man, hey, it was great talking with you, man. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, we did. We talked a lot about Go. We talked a lot about Genesis format. Like, it's good to just talk with people about Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, I don't frame interviews. I frame interviews more as just people talking because it brings me back to like after after a locals, you just sit after locals and just chill and talk, or even like, okay, we both scrubbed out, let's sit over here and just play a game and just talk.
Yeah.
So it was great talking to you, man. I definitely want to get you do a deck analysis of the cannon soldier list.
Yeah, definitely. Like I have an updated list too now. Like the
Dope.
original list was like two and two of each soldier, because I couldn't find the third in time. I played like one Judgment and one Morphing Jar, and like
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, it was awkward. Like I think like I resolved Morphing Jar once that day, and it was kind of good,
Right,
but it just didn't fit in with like what I was trying to do. The deck felt like a little less consistent than I wanted it.
right.
And then since then, I got like the third of each of them. And the last time I played that deck, it went undefeated through like I think it was like three chaos type decks and one like warrior aggro deck. So it was like it felt good into like a meta setting.
Right. Yeah, that's important, especially we know in GOAT is going to be chaos or some sort of version of that or war.
Right.
So, but yeah, if you got anything, let the people know where they can find you at your YouTube channel and all that, and then we'll sign it out.
Yes, I don't have like too much social media, but I post content from time to time on Toasty TCG. That's my
Yeah.
YouTube. Do like a little bit of Magic, but it's mostly just like Yu-Gi-Oh. I like if I ever get back into Advanced, it'll be Advanced deck list. Right now, it's like Goat, Edison, maybe Genesis very soon.
That's perfect. Man, shout out to you, man. I appreciate it. This is me
I made this
signing
all the
out.
time.
Yeah, oh yeah. So signing out 20 years of Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis format is fresh, but we'll definitely be talking about GOAT some more. Rock with you guys heavy. Appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. Dog, hell yeah. Nah,
Oh
that
yeah,
was good, bro. That was real good.
yeah. That was a good time. I saw actually like the first collaboration I've done,
Hmm.
and it was like that went really well. That was awesome.
Yeah. We can definitely if there's any other, any other things you want to do as far as collaborating, bro, let me know. Cause I've been doing the Yu-Gi-Oh YouTube thing for a while, but it's always just easy for me to talk about
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh. And then I want to host tournaments and stuff too, so like that'll be next year.
Word. That sounds like a good plan. Anyway, it's almost 11 here, so I do gotta start getting ready for work in bed. But it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
good talking.
Yeah, definitely. I'll hit you up on I'm gonna post it on Facebook, so I'll hit you up on Facebook
Or
tomorrow.
hell yeah. All
All
right,
right.
take it easy, man.
Later, bro.